Hello guys, I'm Winter Cosmos and we're here back with a new video. I found this game and it's called TouchStarved? I saw like a video of it and I found out there was a demo, so here we are. I didn't think it was already like, I don't know what I was thinking. I just saw the video and I immediately was just interested. That's all there was. So let's go ahead and check it out. I don't know why it has continue. It's the first time I'm playing it. Demo product. This is a demo of the TouchStarved prologue and not finished product. Thank you. Content warning. TouchStarved is intended for an older audience. It contains mature content that includes but is not limited to horror, graphic violence, strong language, alcohol and drug references, injury, and disembowelment. Player discretion is advised. If you accept the content warning, please click to proceed. Tutorial. In I'm so losing the word how to say this. TouchStarved, your choices matter. The decisions you make may result in unique dialogue, interactions, or even choices in red text, which contain exclusive content. Try playing through the demo more than once and choosing different options. You may even uncover a secret ending. And remember, there are no wrong choices, only interesting ones. Choose wisely and save often. Controls. Left click. Mouse wheel up, rewinds text and dialogue. Mouse wheel down. Progresses text and dialogue. Spacebar hides the UI. Spacebar again to bring it back. Oh! Wow. I'll just make this simple. Choose your pronouns. Oh. Nice. I mean, sure, whatever. This world began to unravel long before you were born. It began with the fogfall. Speculate mist bled from the seams where reality wore so thin it split. And from that fog emerged monsters, inhuman beings with unnatural powers. Some possessed language and intelligence, and others were mindless beasts driven by a little more than a desire to slaughter. As cities fell and unrest spread, humans united in their fear while monsters thrived in the chaos. And then there's you. You're not even sure if you're human. You were born cursed, with hands that altered the mind of anyone you touched. Choose your backstory. Oh! Oh! This is unique. I've never really came across a visual novel, or let alone like a story game that you get these kind of options. So this has piqued my interest a little bit more. So we have the unnamed, a fallen oracle. You were raised as an oracle in a remote temple. The priest claimed your touch bestowed enlightenment, but a visiting mage revealed your curse for what it is. Following the mage's word, you fled in search of the summons. You regularly experience unnatural motions that rattled your body and soul. An intimate sixth sense gives you a heightened awareness of hidden supernatural presence around you. Ooh, and then we got the Hound, a forsaken thief. You were raised by society's outcasts, criminals who accepted you when no one else would. Your partner in crime, a friend since childhood, helped you steal enough money for a cure, then betrayed you. They left you with only enough coin to travel to the Sangboom. I'm never gonna pronounce that right. Your last hope. You have sharply hewn social intuition. You can survive and even thrive in the violence underbelly of any city, using your experience with the underworld to get ahead. Ooh, and then we got the last one, the alchemist, an abandoned mage. Oh, this one's even a bit different. It's a lot more shorter in text. An exile Sunburn mage took you in as a child, raising you as her apprentice. She seemed to take pity on your curse, but you discovered that she was captivating you as a test subject, cultivating you as a test subject. You fled to the Sunburn, seeking a cure. You are an experienced spellcaster with an epilogue in... I know that word. I'm just gonna move on. Maybe I'll insert it somewhere else. Knowledge of alchemy, spellcraft, and history. With a little observation, you can identify the substance effect of magic. Oh, this is so cool. There's so many options. I don't know what I'm feeling. I'm feeling the alchemist or the unnamed. Well, let's go with the unnamed first. Your name is Winter and you selected she and her pronouns. Your backstory is the unnamed. Is this correct? The wasteland stretches as far as the eye can see. There is nothing out there but death, the ever-present stench of decay, and countless sun-beached bones cast like seeds across the barren land. I could say death doesn't scare me, but to tell the truth, I'm desperate. It's been 2 weeks since I joined a caravan bound across the wastes. Finding a group that would accept me was a trial in itself. As rations grow spare and my canteen runs dry, I begin to despair, but then I saw it. Idrun, the city of knowledge, one of the last bestowants of humanity left in the world and home to the famous academic called the Cerbernadines. Oh. I thought clicking on it was going to give me some information on how to say that, but clearly not. All the world's knowledge gathered in one place. If there's anything anywhere... Oh. All the world's knowledge gathered in one place. If there's anywhere I'd find a cure for my curse, it's there. And all that stands between me and a cure is a final stretch of salt-soaked wastes. Or so I think until I see the first trinidades of fog sniggling beneath the wagon. Tentrons? Is this real? Is this fog full? My stomach stinks at the very whisper of it, a silent storm more devastating than fire, dangerous in cities, but a death sentence beyond them. A thick blanket of fog engulfs us, smuggling out the lantern's light. The wagon lurches to a stop. An eerie silence heavy as the mist falls over us. The only warning we get is a strangling scream. Strangled scream. Stay back, no! The crying dissolves into a wet gulping. Then the wagon violently pitches to the side and I hit the ground hard, the air punched from my lungs. And when I open my eyes, adrenaline leans suddenly and awfully clarity to the carriage around me. A traitor I once shared bread with lies down in the mud, their back reduced to long strags of torn muscle, glimmering glisters, and exposed bone. Bodies litter the wasteland. I try to rise, but my ankle explodes with pain, so blinding white blooms across my visions. Only my eyes adjust do I see the dark shape in front of me. Oh, hello. Wow. That is truly a monster in definition. But also, I like the color design. Weird tentacle things coming out of its mouth. Something. Got eyeballs on the side of its arms and lower abdominal. A solace steeps over the twisted forms of the caravan. I freeze, but it swirls its head. A dozening burrowing eyes twitch in my direction and blink as one. Oh, hello. That was a nice sound effect. The solace lets out an ear-splitting screech and runs at me. But right before it reaches me, the beast burrows past, vanishing into the mist. Distantly, a horse screams in the dark. I need to move now. Oh, okay, let's save. Let's go ahead and save for one. Oh, the music's picking up. It's so chaotic. Alright, let's see. Run for the city. I take off, running deeper into the haze. The fog is so thick, I'm scared I'm heading in the wrong direction until I see a dim pickpock of light emerging from the shadow of a spiral, I guess. It's faint, but it's enough. I've come too far to die here. Rapid footsteps echo all around me. I turn in circles, frantically searching the open mist for the source, but the fogfall twists and stretches sound. Suddenly, the caravan driver bursts forth from the fog. Our eyes meet too late. He slams into me, knocking me into the ground, and slips in a patch of mud. The solace falls on him as soon as he slows. Uh-oh. Did I make a horrible mistake? Also, the music is really loud, which I don't think you guys are going to be able to notice that when it does go into edit, but for me, it's quite loud. It catches the driver by his throat and rattles his stomach with razor-sharp claws. He comes apart like paper, spilling intestines and viversons in a streaming tad. Fighting the urge to have, I crawl frantically through the slippery muck for a handheld. Shit. My hand catches on the juddery edge of a rip jolting from the water. Bandages unravel around the bludgeoning torn deep into my palm. The pain quickly forgotten when a hand closes around my wrist. Waist. Damn it, why do I always do that? I always get those two confused, so sorry if I say that. If I say wrist over waist. It's always been an issue for me. So you'll probably notice it a lot. Traveler, can you stand? One of the travelers from the caravan leans over me. We need to run. They reach for my hand and I realize too late that my bandages have come undone. Ooh, so this is our cursed body. No, don't touch. The sensation of their thumb brushing the back of my hand sends a shiver down my spine. All it takes is one touch, and in a space of a breath, my curse takes hold. Oh, hello. Whoa. That's creepy. Their lips peel back into a deranged grin. No. I've seen this face countless times before. This is my curse. Madness of my own making. Their grip on my hand tightens until the pain radiates from my knuckles. Let me go. Suddenly, clamping hands crush my throat, choking off my breath. Die, 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 die. Splint bubbles at the corner of their mouth and freckles my face. The edges of my vision darken as my lungs scream for air. Ooh, we're gonna save again. So we can fight them off or we can scream for help. I don't really know if screaming is gonna be help. I mean, if she's describing this wasteland as very vacant and empty, I would imagine what are the chances of you finding someone out in the open? I would say maybe like 2%, 1%. I would imagine it's not a lot, because who the fuck wants to come out here when it's just nothing but wasteland? Ooh, I'm so we can't even scream because he cut off our air, so let's see what happens. My nails gouge deep into the traveler's wrist. But no matter how much blood I draw, they don't flinch. The more I struggle, the tighter The more I struggle, the tighter their grip grows. My pulses hummers in my ears, slowing with each throbbing beat. This can't be happening. I'm going to die. Not because of the fogful or the soulless, but because of my own curse. Tears stream my eyes. No, no, no. Not here. Not like this. The hands drop from my neck, leaving me oozing for air. My lungs burn with each ragged cough. My vision clears and the traveler's face takes shape, hovering inches from mine. Lips still split in that miracle smile, even as blood sleeps between their teeth. They give one last shuddering breath and then slump over, the claw hooked through their stomach. Oh, hello, that's back again. Wow. I guess we could have screamed and maybe we had it come closer. Either way, I think it was just going to come back over. The soulless shoves the body aside, and the glowing eyes shattered its leathery skin thin as though grinning. There's a flash of claws. Red spills across my vision. And I thought there would be pain. But as I sink into the murky water, all I can feel is the grunt of salt filling my mouth and the icy emerge of shallow water. Distantly, I notice an arm resting among an outcrop of reeds, mine neatly severing at the elbow. It should have taken both arms, but without them, maybe I could survive. Maybe I could had a home. Instead, I'll die cold, alone, and face down in a desolate wasteland. A fitting end for a monstery like me. If this is death, it is not as bad as I feared. The cold is gone, as is the choking stench of bogged water. I could drift forever, cocoon in oblivion until all thoughts and sensations vanished. No curse, nobody howling at me in madness and terror. Nothing at all. The thought has a terrible appeal to it. But the next moment, I take a reflective breath, Air pours into my lungs and then out again in a ragged gasp. Ugh. Feelings come flooding back, warm cloth on my bare skin and a firm surface underneath me. A strange tang of surf air in the air. Do not be afraid. Oh, hello. Oh. No. Oh my gosh. Wait, no. Alright. So I accidentally moved my mouse when I was doing something. I twisted my head towards the voice. Tears filled my blurry vision at the bright glow of a lamplight. Try not to move. The voice is calm, steady, and commanding, but more importantly, it's a stranger's voice. One thought cuts through my mental fog. I have no idea who this is, and I'm completely at their mercy. Nope, yeah, that's where that was. Stay away from me. My words come out in a little more than a creakling whisper. I clump my mouth shut, hating how weak and helpless I sound. No. No? Who the hell is this? Alright, let's see. We're gonna save. Sit up. Lie back down. Well, I mean, if we're gonna be dramatic, why not just sit up? I managed to push myself up on one elbow, but my head swims and my surroundings give an alerting lurch. Ah, a stubborn patient. I don't have the strength to dignify that with a response. Instead, I pull the sheets up higher and wipe my eyes until my vision clears. The stranger towers over my fallen form. Warm light reflects off his pristine medical coat. Whoa! I was busy reading, so I didn't really realize how more in focus he is. Alright, I mean, that's a nice design. I love his earrings. I like his jacket. I didn't realize that the top part of his shirt kind of like looks like more of like a vest shirt minus like the undershirt underneath it. I kind of like his design. He has some like neat curly hair. I think he has a bit of a mohawk going on, right? Because it's a little more shorter up in the front, then it gets longer on the side. I don't really like mohawks that much, but we'll give it a chance to see if like the back side looks a little good. I don't know. We'll see. I instinctively streak back, and that's when I notice that I'm completely naked except for a thin hemmed sheet. Woo! Oh, girl. I'm assuming we're a girl. I mean, I did pick she, her, but you never know. Naked, lying on a low cot with a pair of sharp golden eyes watching my every move, the man's gaze flickers to my exposed, unbandaged hands. Oh, he does really have gold eyes. Oh, I didn't even realize that. I was taking like a moment to like take in the details, but his eyes kind of got lost because there's a lot to take in. Like, this man is just right up in our business. I plunge my hands under the sheet to hide them from sight, though it's too late. He must have noticed what they look like. Strange, cursed, inhuman. I braced myself for his inevitability, suspicion, and disgust. But his expression doesn't even flicker from that courteous smile. He just watches in plain silence as I struggle to make sense of my own surroundings. Where am I? Who are you? Be calm. You are safe here. Whoever this is, he clearly has no idea who or what I am. I've never been safe anywhere with anyone. Even the shrines of my childhood, the one sanctuary I ever knew, turned out to be a horrific lie. I scowl, pulling the sheets protectively around myself. Where are my clothes? The man's golden eyes narrow slightly. A sharp sigh rustles the paper in his hands. Oh, damn it. I see you are not to be dissuaded. Your clothes were torn to shreds when I found you, but I procured replacements. Procured replacements? Ooh. With a soft crack, he stands from his chair, giving me a better view of my surroundings. I seem to be in some sort of medical clinic. Bottles of silvery alchemic concoctions line the counters in neat rows. The air makes my nose twitch, a faint whiff of smoke and something distinguishingly metallic that I can't quite place. Oh, whoa. That is rather interesting. He looks more cooler when he's standing up a little bit more. The doctor proceeds a long, dense bundle of clothes, which he sets at the foot of my cot. He's easily a hand taller than most. Oh my gosh. I really fucked that up. The doctor proceeds a large, dense bundle of clothes, which he sets at the foot of my cot. He's easily a head taller than most. I have to crane my neck to look at him. Ooh! Oh my gosh. Is he like 6 feet or something? Like, how short are we? If this dude's that tall, he's given like fantasy fiction book vibe kind of men, where they're always taller than the main character themselves, which I'm all about, because you gotta love that in fictional stories. Ooh. Accidentally clicked that too hard. Could you step out? I guess we are more worried about that, but at the exact same time, he's seen as naked. I mean, he's the one that removed our clothing, so I don't even think that's important. I should be polite if I can, especially since I don't know who this is and what he can do or what he wants with me. Meeting his gaze sends a hot frisson down my spine. Something about him nags at me, like a half-formed memory I can't place. Thank you. You are welcome. I will leave you to get dressed. Oh, it does actually look cooler in the back. It's not too bad. Still like the design. Oh, with a curt nod. And with a curt nod, he leaps through a narrow door. I hear a soft click as the lock turns behind him. I count to 3 in the sudden silence, and when I don't hear any more footsteps, I reach for the bundle of clothes. An ache on my elbow stops me short, and I reach down absently to rub at it, and then freeze when my fingers meet a neat line of stitches. I know what I saw. The beast took my arm clean off. And yet, my elbow shows no sign of injury apart from the black stitches poking through my skin. I gingerly flick my fingers, feeling my heart race at the sensation. This is impossible. I should be dead, or at the very least, gasping out my last breaths. I squeeze my eyes shut, waiting for the positive dream to unravel, to wake up bleeding out in the swamp. But nothing happens, and the seconds tick by, and my arm remains resolutely healed. My surroundings pristine and quiet. In numbing disbelief, I reach out for the replacement clothes and begin stiffly pulling them on. They're thicker and warmer than mine were, with a black wool cloak to go with them. But there's one thing still missing: my bandages. The golden-eyed man didn't leave me with any, even though I know he saw my hands. I slide off the bed and take a few unsteady steps towards one of the drawers. If this is indeed a doctor's clinic, there must be bandages somewhere. I stop opening drawers at random, and of course, that's when the door swings open once more. Are you looking for something? I roll around, clenching a thick row of clean bandages. I try to step back from him, but my legs bump up against the edge of the cot. Your caution is understandable. Though I meant you any harm, you would know. Oh, sounds like a threat. In between kind of threat. That doesn't make me feel any better in the slightest, but he makes no move towards me, so I quickly wind the bandages around my hands. The glowing scars and mented skin disappear under a layer of clean white cloth. May I ask why you need additional bandages? I clench my jaw. I knew it'd only be a matter of time before he asked about my hands, though the way he does it is strangely a roundabout. Ooh, choices. Wait, can I don't guess there is a way to get rid of this just to see the background. I don't remember what the buttons were. Say nothing, glimpse at him. Decline to answer. Oh, so either way, you can't really exactly tell him what I'm getting the feel of this. Let's go with glance at him. I fix him with the coldest glare I can muster. He doesn't even blink, meeting my eyes sincerely as I finish tying my bandages. I am not easily intimidated. I hastily break eye contact, but he says nothing more. At least he doesn't seem angry. But if he wants answers out of me, I'm still going to need some from him first. Oh, I love that. Equal exchange of information. I recently read that in a book that I was reading, and like one of the characters is prying information from one of the males, and obviously he was giving her that information until he realized like it was spilling a lot of his secrets, which I threw in quotations between it. And so like he was like, how dare you try to pry secrets out of me? And her response was like, well, it's not really prying if you give them out willingly. And so he's like, well, in exchange for giving that, you're going to give me something back. And so one thing led to another, and certainly she did give a lot more than he did, so. Who are you? You may call me Chorus. And where exactly am I? Ildered, which I assume was your caravan's location. I can think of nowhere else for a group of travelers to go. Eldored. So I made it to the City of Knowledge after all. I should feel relieved, but all I can manage is a vague sense of increasing uneasiness. How'd I end up here? I brought you to my clinic, of course. You were the only survivor from the caravan, barely clinging to life. You needed immediate treatment, which you provided. Yes. He says it so plainly as if I'm a small child and he's explaining basic additions to me. I frown and flex the fingers on my recently healed arm. Aside from being a bit stiff, it feels fine, thoroughly attached to me. You're saying that you stitched my arm back on. Pardon? A soulless attacked the caravan. It ripped everyone to shreds. It tore my arm clean off. But when I woke up here, I trail off bewild. I've never heard of any magic that could heal an immortal wound like that. What kind of person could do such a thing? The doctor, Chloris, pinches the bridge of his nose and he sits back down in his chair, quiet for a long time. I do not know where you come from, but Edorid is the city of knowledge and deadly secrets alike. Information is power, and it is most unwise to give or receive it freely. Since you have refused to divulge your secrets, I will not divulge mine, and I do not even know your name. You are new to Edorid, so I will overlook this specific breach of etiquette. However, you should not expect others to extend the same courtesy. Do you understand? He looks pointedly at my freshly bandaged hands. Loath though I am to admit it, he has a point. I am also a complete stranger to him, and if he's telling the truth, he saved my life. I take a deep breath, steadily breath. This time when I speak, I sound a bit more like myself. Winter. My name is Winter. It is a pleasure to meet you, Winter. There's a little more warmth in his smile, his polite demeanor back in an instant. Ooh, time to save. Oh, I wish we can kind of like move this. I don't really want to pry too much because like he said, not many people are going to be able to be nice to you and give you that information, so I think for this run, we'll just accept it for what it is. Thank you for saving my life. I chance a smile in return. Even if he won't explain how he did the impossible, there's no doubt in my mind I'd be dead if not for Curris. Think nothing of it. I like how he closes his eyes to that. That's very much like the demeanor he's giving. Like he has this like type of swagger to him. I don't know what to call it. I wouldn't say laid back or dominant. It's more of like would it be like a teacher? No, maybe a teacher, maybe like a professor kind of like demeanor, like where they know stuff, and so they kind of like, I don't know what I'm even trying to go on about, so I'm gonna move on. I'm not sure if he's being excessively courteous, but his words only arise more urgent questions. But I have to ask, why did you save me? You don't know me. The question seems to startle Curtis. Ah, I love it. Throw him off his A game. I could hardly leave you to die in the wastes. Assisting those in need is the very essence of a doctor's duty. I never met a doctor who also handed out free clothes. My fingers find the edge of the cloak. There's a subtle but delicately embroidered pattern around the hem. I try not to think about what kind of price Curtis might ask for such a well-made clothes. No, I suppose not. Forgive my pre-assumptions. I rarely come across so fascinating a patient. I blank. What did he just say? I something meant that a few would cling to life so resultingly, or brave such a purely journey to Edored. I could not help being curious about you. Winter. His voice dabs to a soft murmur, and he abruptly looks away from me. Oh, what do we have to say in this fine? Oh, we got two options. You're pretty curious yourself. I don't know what to say to that. Well, hey, shots gotta be fired, so you gotta do it somehow. You're pretty curious yourself. Am I? His smug face. Someone screenshot that or some. Or don't listen to me. I'm just being dumb. Well, I haven't forgotten about my arm. I wiggle my intact fingers at him. Oh, I would love an animation of that. Just like wiggle waggle. Just wiggling your little hands. Clearly not. But you hadn't asked me for any payment either. I require none from you. Travelers do not have an abundance of coin, and it would be unethical to leave you destitute in a strange place. I fall silent, unsure what to say to that. No one would help a horror like me for free. There has to be some kind of catch or trick, right? A loud knock at the door stops our conversation cold and spares me from having to say anything else. Oh, that's how you do it. It was the spacebar. I forgot. I accidentally clicked it because in other visual novels, you can click the spacebar to keep going with the conversation. So, oh no, I got rid of it. I didn't mean to. How do I? Oh, okay, so then you right click. Alright, this is gonna be so confusing to use. Duty calls. Unfortunately, you are not my only patient today. The knockings grow more insistent, and Curtis lets out a tired sigh. Please wait your turn. And though he says it quietly, the commander on the other side of the door abruptly stops. Do you need anything before you leave, Winter? Oh. Between the soulless attack and my miraculous survival, I had almost forgotten why I'd come to Edored in the first place. I need directions to the Sonorbron. The look on his face is downright chilling. He pauses, choosing his words with cold deliberation when he speaks again. Ooh, he looks upset. What's going on? Wow, just his face changes. Whatever you seek, it is very unlikely you will find it there. The sorority's gates open for precious few visitors. Even if they did, you would not like what you would find inside. My heart sinks. Is he saying that I came all this way for nothing? Risked life and limb for nothing? No, that can't be. I only just arrived. And Netherrealm's the largest city still standing. There has to be a cure for me here. If it is not the Sembrin, then where would you suggest? Do you know anyone else in Edorin? I shake my head. Then I suggest a local guide. Head to the Westwick and ask for Leander. Excuse me? The what? The wet wick? He sounded deeply unamused. Follow the posting advising. Leander's boundhounds. They are difficult to miss. When you meet Leander, tell him I sent you. There isn't much to go on, but Curtis points towards the clinic's back door. You'll be safe so as long as you do not draw attention to yourself. That's easier said than done. I've been a magnet for the worst sorts of attentions. If you require my assistance, you may return whenever you wish. And though he's smiling, there's a note of formality in his voice, resigned to my dismissal. I slip out the back door. I found myself standing in a narrow and rather gloomy alley. I pull the new cloak over my nose and step over the containers of chamber pots that had been emptied into the street. Something weighs heavily inside one of the cloak's pockets. My coin purse. Everything is still inside, every last coin that I scrapped together for the journey to Edorin. It doesn't even seem like it was opened. There were so few coins to begin with. They probably weren't even worth stealing. I glanced back at the clinic's closed door. Chorus didn't take any payment. He didn't even ask for a future favor. But he also said that in Edwin, secrets are power. Does he expect me to give mine up at some point? That's not exactly a comforting thought. Still, no matter why he did it, Chorus gave me a second chance and a lead on where I might find help. I better get going before he changes his mind. I squeeze out of the alley and into the crowded main street. The line outside Curtis's clinic stretches down the road already. Two thin palleters queue alongside withered elderly. If any place is in desperate need of a free clinic, it's this one. The cobblestones are torrentously rough under my feet. Deep grooves roam between them by regular flooding and the decades of hard use. I knew Irid was a river city, but I didn't expect it to look so eroded. The buildings are tired and dilapidated, all cramming together in a narrow streets. There are something else. A charge in the air like swift in pressure before a storm. It's subtle, a little more than a faint, persistent thrumming, but I can't seem to shake it. A child darts by, clinking something glossily wrapped in paper. The smell of fried food drifts over to me. My stomach gives a faint grumble. This morning's catch. Fried up, hot and fresh. Not too many eyeballs today. That sounds disgusting, but I'm starving, so I duck my head under the stall, grumbling, eyeing. A large fish lurches up at me, its 3 bulging eyes still visible through the thick layer of a crispy batter. The vendor gives me a gripped tooth grim. What's the cheapest thing you've got? The vendor points at a metallic basket of what looks like long strips of savory fried dough. Fresh long lard, 3 copper apiece. Don't burn your mouth. I take the coins out, counting them gingerly, and at this rate, I might not even be able to afford dinner. Reluctantly, I drop the payment on the counter and take my meal. Two streets later, I pass under a wagged iron archway adorned with dangling garments of red and pink lilies. Well, this is pretty. The buildings in this quarter are a dozenly riot of color, painted walls and tainted glass everywhere I look. Sheer red and pink curtains flutter in open doorways. Musical voices call out invitingly. Incense mingles with the pungent scent of flowers, barely covering the salt and musk of warm bodies. This must be Eddering's entertainment district. Ooh, just like the Red District. I'm polishing off my food and dusting the crumbs from my hands when I spot a poster. It features the silhouette of a smiling man wearing a single dagger-like earring and the word Hellbound printed above his head. A motto, as above so below, circles the artwork. If Leander is the leader of the Hellbounds, then the face printed on the poster is likely his. I followed the line of identical posters around a corner and nearly hit my head on a precautionary dangling wooden sign. Looking up, a faded orange letters read, "The Wet Wick." The facade of the building looks like it's seen better days, but I hear faint music and laughter coming from within inside. Oh, this is a lot of chattering. The inside of the bar is a far cry from the abandoned exterior. It's not even midday, yet most of the tables and booths are accompanied by loose assembly of people in matching green cloaks. Bustling bars are not something I'm used to, but I still myself with a deep breath before pushing forward. A cursory glance doesn't turn up anyone with a dagger-shaped earring. I'm about to head towards the counter when a Shanant rises from the center of the room. Show, show, show. The remaining green cloaks abandon the bar and their boots to run towards the center of the room in a sudden terrain. There's no time to move out of the way. I'm caught swept along in the Elastant current. Hey! Rhythmic chanting drowns out my voice. I thrash, throwing out my elbows as the pressive bodies grow heavier. My hip knocks onto a table. I grip it, holding on tightly to steady myself, but the crowd has stilled. The chanting stopped. A group of gallant boots stride across the tabletop. Oh, what? Are we getting a show? What is going on here? Seriously, you dogs, again? Shouted laughter and cheers rise from the audience. I definitely do like the music. I drag my eyes upward. Hello. He's got quite a look going on for himself. A well-dressed man stands on the table in front of me, his broad shoulders framed by the thick lumpets of a trench coat. This really is the last time, all right? This time when he speaks, the audience falls silent as though bewitched by his magnetic presence or rich, low voice. But nothing is as captivating as his smile. He beams at the crowd around him, a performer on his makeshift stave. He beams at the crowd around him, a performer on his makeshift stage. Don't blink, or you'll miss it. He laughs and the dagger-shaped earring dangling from his left ear catches the light in a flash of gold. It would seem I found Leander. He raises his hand above the audience and snaps. A flash of pale green light, real magic, no ordinary stage trick, blinds me. As the brilliance emits, my gaze refocuses on the mage towering above me. Wait, let's see what he looks like. So I'm gonna lower my mic. Bring it up just a tad. Oh wow. I do like his design. Notice the concept. They are wearing a lot of tight shirts. Really showing off those muscles, aren't they? I do like his hairstyle. I wonder what's his story for the scar on his face. Is that really going to be his signature, though, is the earring? That is pretty dope. He flicks his wrist and the magic's spiraling around him callously. A delicate flower stem sprouts from between his pinched fingers, one by one. Glowing lily pads spring forth. With a flourish, the mage presents the conjured flowers. The audience burst into clapping and cheers. A general magic show was the last thing I expected from a place called the Wet Wick. Leander plucked the iridescent bouquet out of the air and turns in a slow circle, giving his audience a good look. Now, who could use some good luck? Eager onlookers scoot closer to the table, some reaching for the lilies, while others whistle and call Leander's name. But his cool green eyes slide over them, locking on me instead. How about you? My chest tightens. Every person gathered turns to stare at me. Ooh, let's see. So it's still the same. Oh man! I mean, I could refuse the flowers, but fuck it, let's take them. I reach out, all too aware of the way my fingers tremble as I carefully take the flowers from him. There's no weight to them, only a faint warmth that radiates from the stems. As soon as the flowers leave Leander's hand, their light dims, and they fade away in a shower of opalescent light. To my surprise, Leander laughs underneath his breath. That's the problem with flowers. They don't last long enough, but they leave an impression, right? He grins at me and I find myself smiling back. But it kind of looks dead inside now that we see him without the cutesy little green light around him. Definitely look like he has not slept like he should be as a regular person. That insomniac hitting you, dude. Leander steps off at the table, dropping amongst the excited crowd with an audible clunk. Alright, bloodhounds, get back to your drinks. Show is over. The green cloaks disper at his command, returning to their tables and booths. Before I can make my way towards Leander, his eyes find me. Oh! So that's what he's doing. Okay. He gives me a friendly wave and then beckons me over to the crowded counter. I manage to squeeze beside him, but there's so little room that his broad shoulders presses against mine. I tense, but he doesn't seem to mind at all. Oof, that's too close. Is this your first time at Edoran? He says it lightly, with a general air of curiosity. Do I stand out that much? No, but I'm certain I'd remember seeing a face as lovely as yours around Lowtown. My bro shot his shot. He really did not just he went straight for it. Man is a I don't even know. My eyes flicker to the polished countertop. I'm not used to flattery, and being this close makes eye contact difficult. As if on cue, the bartender approaches us. What can I get ya? Surprise me. Not anything my friend wants to my tab. Wasn't expecting the generosity, but I have to admit, I do feel a little thirsty after all that fried dough. Ooh, we get another choice. No. Oh, so we get to drink what he's drinking? What did he order? I already forgot. So that surprised me. Are we feeling frisky? Yeah, we're feeling frisky. I'll have what he's having. While the bartender leaves to fix her drinks, Leander leans his elbow on the counter. I'm close enough to notice the purple shadows under his lower lids. Bro has not been sleeping. His eyes wander over mine in return, and when they lock on my bandaged hands, a sour taste rises in my throat. Here comes the questions. So, what brings you to the Wick? Curtis sent me. He pushes his hair back from his forehead, but immediately falls right back into place. He looks sour upon that name. So, it's about work. The bartender returns with a pair of glasses filled with what I can only assume is beer. I raise my glass and give it an experimental sniff. It smells faintly yeasty, but with an undercurrent I can't quite place. A quick sip confirms my worst suspicion. It's awful. Somehow broody and sour in a way that reminds me of pickles. Pickles. Oh, I have tried a shot of pickles. Like it's unique. It's interesting, but it goes down smoothly in a weird way. But any thought of complaining dies the moment I look up and see Leander taking a deep swig from his glass. He lets out a satisfied breath. How can I be of assistance? I need to get to the sombrero. As soon as the word sombrero leaves my mouth, the entire bar falls silent. Bloodhounds twist around in their seats to gawk openly. Finally, and especially a drunk one speaks up. What the hell are you? Bringing up the Cymboran in here. Throw him out! This is Bloodhound territory. The victual catches me off guard. From the angry looks looking my way, it's clear I've broken some unspeakable rule just by mentioning the Cymboran. When I glance at Leor, he's drinking, and as though he hasn't noticed the uproar, only when he catches me looking does he lower his glass. For the love of... He drags a hand down his face. Hey, keep it down, will you? This is business. I tense, expecting an argument, but the outspoken bloodhounds silently return to their drinks. Only a handful continue to watch me wearily. Sorry about them. This Aurora is a bit of a touchy subject in these parts. Mixed in enough drinks and, well, you saw. How about we continue this outside? When I give him a turns nod, he pushes away from the bar counter. And it suddenly got quiet. I follow Leander into a hallway tucked between the wet wick where layers of flared bloodhound posters have been plastered to the walls. Seeing them side by side, the resemblance between Leander and his likeness on the posters is impressive. Curtis didn't send you here for help with Sembor, did he? From the looks he gives me, he already knows the answer. I glance away. No, he didn't. He suggests I find an alternative. And yet, here you are, and asking about them anyway. What do you need the Simbra for? I don't want to tell him about my curse. The less people know about my capabilities, the better. Thankfully, Leander takes my reluctant silence as an answer. Well, I see you're already aware of the city's currency. Information's worth its weight in gold here. Curtis told you the truth. The Simbret's dangerous. Get on their bad side and they'll imprison you if you're lucky, or torment you if you're not. But the Simbret's supposed to be a place of learning, a sanctuary. The Simbret has always been heralded as the last beacons of human knowledge, a shining beacon of hope in a world steeped in nightmares. If any place held answers, it would be the Simbrunt. That's why I came here. That's what they want you to think. But when things that seem too good to be true are often just that. Such a simple statement, and yet it leaves me reeling. If it's true, if I staked everything on a lie, then what now? Leon clears his throat. But as I always said, there's a solution to every problem, alternatives to every solution. He claps his hands and turns to me with a bright smile. That's why Curtis pointed you to the Bloodhounds. Let us help you. Rather, it's hunting soulless, finding people, or recovering stolen valuables. We can do it all, and free of charge.